Um, Hello everybody, my name is Aaron, but you may know me as Hetalia Text Messages on Tumblr. And, I think I scared a few of you tonight, so I'm sorry for that. Um, I'm making this video just to, I don't know, maybe it's more for myself really, because I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm going to talk about my past, mostly the times I was in school, from kindergarten to my senior year of high school. Um, I don't want any pity, okay? So it's alright, I'm fine now. But yeah, so here was what my school life was actually like. Well, I was 5 years old when I first started kindergarten. Standard age, I guess. I mean, I don't know if I had friends. I was friends with this one boy. His name was Eli. I totally liked him. Um, and like I was a sensitive child, and the computer games they had scared me. But to be fair, it was kind of creepy. The games they had. Um, yeah. So kindergarten was, I guess it was okay. I didn't really get in trouble. You have those stoplights, red, you did something really bad, yellow, it's a warning, whatever. You get this, you have to go to timeout or something. Like, I remember there was some rumor there was a black light and you would have to talk to the principal, which sounded horrifying. We rarely saw the principal, though. Um, I remember one time I was in my kindergarten class and me and some people were being too loud, I guess. So the teacher's aide told us to be quiet or else the high schoolers would hear us. And we shut the hell up because there were high schoolers in the school. It was a high school, but it also had the kindergarten. So yeah, we shut the fuck up after that. So kindergarten wasn't that bad besides me being like anxious of computer games. Um, First grade, yeah, I didn't really have friends there either. I tried to make friends with the girl who had been adopted from China, but the other girls swarmed her. And every time I tried to talk to her, they wouldn't let me. Like, they told me to go away because they were talking to her. And so that was a thing. I didn't really. I don't know. It wasn't like a bad year. It was just. I didn't really. Yeah, I was friends with the next door neighbor, but that was pretty much it. Second grade, I met a girl. Her name was Amanda, and she had been held back a year, but I didn't really give a shit. Like, who cares, right? Even though you always hear, oh, that's bad or whatever. She wasn't in my class, but we talked sometimes, and it was fine. This is a different building, by the way, than the kindergarten one. It was an elementary school. I can still remember a lot of it, like our old mascot, and then when we had to switch to the high school's mascot, and it made me really angry for no reason. But I guess second grade was okay. I was kind of friends with this girl who seemed to not have a very good home environment. Like, her mom was like really lazy and she kind of asked me for money sometimes. We were like um we were like 7, so I didn't understand exactly. And one time she actually stole money off my desk that I had for book fair. She didn't realize it was mine. I don't know how that works, but she was okay. Yay, friend. So third grade, I was actually put in the same class as Amanda. I don't know how that happened, but yeah. So people still were like, "Oh God, you're weird." I'm like, "Okay." See, I liked reading books. I mean, especially in second grade, I read so many books. And I didn't even take the computer quizzes that we had for the books. I read them just for fun, and people were like, why would you voluntarily read just for fun? And I'm like, I don't know, but I was still reading in third grade. I was very advanced level. They had a level, a certain amount of points for each book, and I was at a higher level than some of the other kids. Um, so Amanda was in my class, and God, I really wish I could remember a lot of the finer details, but I really can't remember the last conversation I had with her or interaction. But one day she didn't come to school, and I'm like, oh yeah, no big deal. She's probably sick or something. And, well, it was a week, and she still wasn't there, and our teacher told us that she moved, and that upset me pretty badly. I mean, she didn't tell me, but maybe she didn't have time to, or whatever, I don't know, but at that time I was just thinking, how could she do this? She was my only friend, technically, so that was pretty rough. I actually went into this, I'm not sure how to describe it, this state where this is gonna sound weird, I lost emotions, kinda, besides anger. And if I felt threatened by people, or if they were trying to be mean to me, I hissed at them like a cat. And I guarded myself, and I wouldn't show happiness around anyone. To be fair, I didn't really feel it that much. And people thought it was weird, and they're like, oh shit, it's that weirdo who doesn't find anything funny or whatever. And, I had kid who picked on me. His name was Tyler. Just random stuff. Like, he tore up stuff in my desk because he could. He was a horrible person. I remember one time just sitting in class, and he comes up to me, he goes, if your name is Venus, I'll kick you in the penis. And I was like, I slowly inched over to the teacher. I'm like, do you know what he said? I later found out said teacher actually noticed my behavior and told my parents that she thought I had Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. Did not know this for a very long time. But I went to 4th grade, and I not really much to say about that, really. It was just kind of bland and stuff. We're starting to this was a different building now for 4th and 5th grade. We're kind of getting into the spirit of switching classes like a middle schooler does, at least in the United States. I'm not sure how it works in all the other countries. We had a separate math class from our normal class, and my math teacher she was pretty cool, actually. And there was a guy in the class, and I'm 10, and I have a Facebook. I don't fucking know. I got a Facebook when I was pretty young. And we talk sometimes. I mean, I'm pretty sure he was annoyed by me, but I told him on Facebook that I liked him, and I didn't get a response. The next day I find him talking to his friends about how some freak messaged him on Facebook saying they liked them, and he threw up, and, well, yeah, I heard that. That didn't help very much. But, yeah, that was oh well, too bad. Yeah, that was, yeah, not really much else to say about it. But 5th grade was when thing. 5th grade, 5th grade is when things kind of went, I had a male teacher for the first time ever. It was crazy, man. I tried talking to a girl in the class, and we were kind of friends for a bit, but then she stopped talking to me. And one time I eventually asked her, and she said I annoyed her because all I did was talk about my interests. That's a thing with autism, kinda, a little bit. But I didn't know that. And in 4th grade, I'd been diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, and it confused the hell out of me. I didn't know what was going on, but yeah, I'm in 5th grade. Yeah, I was bullied a bit. Like, I asked this guy out. Like, 5th graders shouldn't be doing that. I was a dumbass, so I'm not saying that this was entirely his fault. It still was mostly his fault, but he laughed and he told all of his friends about it, and they made fun of me. And yeah, that sucked. That was the year I was diagnosed with depression and suicidal thoughts, and that was also the year I first hurt myself purposefully. Okay, no 11-year-old should do that. I'm just throwing that out there. But, I kind of got help. Ooh, it's better now. So, we move on to middle school. I have no friends, and my approach this year is different. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm like, I don't trust anyone. Why should I trust anyone if they're just gonna be an asshole to me if I tell them anything? So I'm like really shy and I won't bother anybody. But in my homeroom class, I did make a friend. I was like, oh, cool. And in gym, I made another friend, and I recognized her from kindergarten, actually. And those two were my best friends until just a few months ago, actually. So yeah, things were kind of looking up then. Like, things were getting better. And one time I'm in science class, and there's just this guy, and he started messing with me, like, he'd trip me in the hallway, push me into walls, shit, that cliche bully stuff. And one day we were in science, and I was standing up, I think I was talking to somebody about something, and he just comes over, and he told me to sit down for some reason, and I just... I want you to imagine 13-year-old me looking up at this tall guy and going, I don't take orders from you, because that's what I said. I said, I don't take orders from you. And then the bell rang, I'm like, ah, shit, I'm dead. So I walk out. This is 6th period. We had 7 periods. So I'm walking out the hallway, he's ahead of me. Suddenly he turns around, runs at me, knocks me to the ground. I landed on my ass, and I dropped my binder on the floor, and I was like, shit. And then this guy, he had been in my 1st grade class. He was like the bad boy or whatever. Like, he was kind of nice to me, but a lot of times he was grumpy. He walks over and he helped me up, and he said, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, what just happened? And he goes over to the guy, grabs him by the collar, slams him against the lockers, and starts yelling at him. He's like, you don't do that! And I'm like, holy shit. And he walked me to class, and for some reason, me getting pushed in a hallway warranted you can go home early. Oh my god, but my dad's face when he picked me up and saw that kid sitting outside the office, I thought he was gonna kill him. It was awesome. Shout out to the guy that stood up for me. He entered into the military about a year or 2 ago, and I'm proud of him. Even if we haven't talked in a very long time. So I didn't have too much trouble in 6th grade, I guess. I mean, people still thought I was weird. Everybody thought I was weird because I was, That was when I started taking up drawing. I'd been writing fanfiction for a while anyways, but I used to draw a lot. Okay. Now, 7th grade was kind of a different story. This was the first time a guy specifically messed with me, and it had to do with me being a girl. Kinda. Here's what happened. In 5th grade, there had been a running joke about me, because I had a pet chinchilla, and for years and years and years, people would just yell chinchilla at me in the hallway or something, which it just got annoying, it wasn't like mean, but then they'd say stuff like threatening my pet's life and pretty disgusting things that kids that age probably shouldn't think of, that I won't repeat. But that was also the year my dog Muffin tragically got hit by a car, and I was pretty broken up about that. And this kid from school, I didn't really know him. I'd seen him, you see people, but I didn't know him. I was like, oh, hey, it's that kid. He's messaging me. And he was messaging me on Facebook. He was just kind of talking to me. And I think I switched to another tab for a second to do something. I don't know. And then I get back to that tab, and while I was gone, he had sent a bunch of messages and blocked me. So I look, and the messages say, hey, is your car okay? Ha ha ha. And it showed a picture of a dog running in front of a car. My mom ran over my dog. That's why he was asking if my car was okay. Which is pretty fucked up enough. But he also sent me a picture of a baby chinchilla that was like, it was dead, let's just say that. It was very dead. And he had blocked me right after doing that, and, I was shocked, but I was like, well, I guess dipshit saved me the trouble of blocking him, whatever. I mean, I was pretty upset about what he had said, but I was like, you know what, fuck him, whatever. This was a Saturday. The next day, the kid unblocks me and messages me saying, hey, I'm really sorry about that. My friend said all those things. It wasn't me. And I was like, yeah, right, dude. I'm not a total fucking idiot. Well, I didn't say that, but so, he was like, it wasn't me, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I really want to get to know you. I want to be your friend. I'm like, fuck you. So I blocked him. Next day, Monday, we go to school, and here's what we did for lunch. We did the whole lunch thing in the cafeteria, blah, blah, blah. And then we walked out, we would go into the gym, really big gym, and we'd sit on the risers, but a lot of people, sometimes they'd be playing volleyball or basketball, and we'd just be like watching kinda. But most of the time we just talked with friends and stuff. Well, I walk in there, and suddenly I hear, hey! And I turn around, guess what? It's the guy. I'm like, oh, fuck, not again. And he comes running up to me. He goes, look, I swear that was not me. My friend did it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, buddy, bye. And he's just saying, can you please just give me a second chance? I said, all right, look, dude, even if it was your friend who did that, I don't really want to talk to you right now. Let me just... So, he still bothered me, so my friend that I mentioned earlier, first one, comes over, grabs my arm, and pulls me up there to get me away from him. I'm like, oh, thank God. And we sit down. He follows me, He follows me. He sits next to me, he goes, no, I want to be your friend. I think you're pretty. And he does this weird thing. Here's what happened. I'm going to try and describe it the best I can. So, this is my arm. Pretend this is his. So, he goes like this. And I just turn around. I smacked him in the face. Not like, pow, really hard. Like, I didn't hurt him or anything. But, oh my God, the look on his face. That was, I wish I had a picture of that. It was pretty funny. And I just jumped down, and I went up to the teacher. I said, hey, I just hit a kid. And they were like, what? And I said, well, this, and this happened. And they're like, oh. Yeah, so I wasn't in trouble for that. My homeroom teacher wasn't very happy about it. She was a special ed teacher because I was considered a special ed student. And I made some friends there. Sometimes I wondered why I was in there, but... there's nothing wrong with them. I was just kind of confused. So that was the first time a guy had, harassed me, I guess. But another thing that happened that year was, this boy, he moved to my state, and he started going to my school, and we were in art class. He sat across from me. I wasn't really talking to him because... why would I, But I look over and he has a sketchbook and he's drawing Sonic the Hedgehog in it, and I really, really used to be into that. And So I said something about it, and he said something, and boom, friends. We talked all the time, mostly on Skype. I don't know why, but not like video, like chat. He was a weird guy, you know, like he was nice, he was just kind of weird. And one day we were talking. This is, I'd say, the school year was about to end. Like, I'd been in his house for parties, like his birthday party and stuff. But he had sent me a weird message. He said, "Hey, question." I was like, "All right, yeah, shoot." And he goes, "Do you find me attractive?" And I'm thinking, no, not really. But I didn't say that because it was rude. I mean, I didn't really see him as anything else but a friend. So I just said, I don't know, kinda. Like, smooth move me, right? And he goes, "Because I find you attractive, kinda." And I'm like, okay. So obviously that night I'm like, what the fuck do you mean by that? And I'm still like, nah, he's, like, my brain's going, no, he's fucking with you, you know? Then the other part of my brain is like, he's your friend, he wouldn't do that. But then I'm thinking, you know, he's fucking with me. He's trying to get a reaction on me like everybody else has done in the past. Like, every other guy I've known liked to mess with me. So I was confused. And then the next day he told me he liked me, and I was like, what the fuck? And he sends me a YouTube link, and it's to a Beatles song. He's the one who got me into the Beatles, by the way. Blame him. It was the Beatles song, and I Love Her. Oh my god, I ran upstairs, locked myself in my room, because I couldn't handle all of that. I was just like, this isn't happening. What is this? I didn't know what to do, you know? I told my mom, and it was just a really confusing time for me. I didn't really, I don't know, I couldn't grasp that anybody could ever see me in that way, as something more than a friend or some weirdo you can pick on, because I had anger issues and I did kind of snap at people when they did that. But yeah, so it was kind of awkward for a while, and then he moves on to my best friend. I'm like, oh, hell nah. And I didn't realize at the time, but I was jealous, but I was also kind of mad that he was like, because that's my best friend. I'm like, I don't want him doing anything to her, like hurting her or anything. Because he was a weird guy. He was a touchy guy, like not in a bad way, you know, but like touchy kind of, you know. He asked out a lot of girls 8th grade year. 8th grade year was pretty good, actually. I didn't have as much trouble, and the year seemed to go by pretty fast. We have a dope, I can't believe I said, we have a dope 8th grade video that was made, and holy shit, just watching it now and hearing Fall Out Boy in it, I'm like, oh god, why did they make this? I appear in it a few times with my fucking long wavy hair and different glasses and this awful expression on my face that my default expression most of the time is, it's called a resting bitch face. That's what I have. But yeah, that year's fine, and he keeps bugging me, go out with me, meh. And I start to kind of like him back, but I don't know what to do about it, and I'm scared because this is just gonna end badly again. So finally I'm like, ugh, fine, shut up, fine. So we go to this old-fashioned theater, like purposely old-fashioned, and they were playing Back to the Future. So right before the movie, they had a short skit, you know, where he's like, wait a minute, you're saying my mom has the hots for me? And Doc goes, precisely, or something like that. The hell's a gigawatt? And then they showed a Looney Tunes cartoon before the movie. That's fine. And then the movie starts. I'd seen it before, but, you know, it was a good movie. Movie starts, and he reaches over, and he takes my hand, and we're holding hands, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'm feeling kind of uncomfortable with this, like, I'm not used to touch like that, so I kind of tried to get away, but he was strong, and I wasn't sure he realized I was trying to get away, so I was trying to do it really subtly, because, you know, I was a bitch, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings, you know? But, oh my god, so tight. Eventually he let go, and we was fine, blah blah blah. He took me home. He had gotten me a present from Disney World. He had gotten me this Minnie Mouse plushie, I don't know. And he dropped me off, and he kissed me on the forehead and left. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do with this. What is this? What are we? What do we have? Do we have anything? He messaged me later saying, hey, I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable with the hand holding thing. I'm like, oh, so he did notice. Right. So, yeah. So that was my first and only date. Like, I haven't been on a date since 8th grade. Well, okay, unless you count when he invited me over to his house alone. Like, I had never been over there alone. It's always, like, for one of his parties, like Halloween, Christmas, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. Which I will admit, his parties were pretty fun. There was no drinking, there was adult supervision, all that lame shit. But, you know, I came over there and he made us watch YouTube videos for hours. It was stuff he liked. We weren't watching anything I liked, and I was getting annoyed because the video was like really immature. It was full of like some guy drawing dicks horribly, and I'm not sure I should name names. Vine Sauce Joel. I wonder if I always wonder Joel, like the guy's name's Joel. I always wonder if he liked him just because he had the same name as him. But you know, I'm like, oh god. And I said, I want to watch Rooster Teeth because I had kind of gotten into rage quit around then. And he goes, no. So we keep watching that, and his parents ordered us pizza or whatever, I don't know. And at one point, his older brother like comes in for a second, and I'm like, I want to watch Rooster Teeth again. And he's still like, now we're watching this. And then his brother goes, well, you have a guest, and your guest wants to watch Rooster Teeth. He's like 3 years older than him. I'm like, hey! And Joel's like, ugh. So we didn't watch Rooster Teeth. We watched the fucking California Raisins. I don't know why he liked them. I don't know. They're these weird talking raisins that sing or whatever. And then we watched Family Guy. Now, at some point, I think it was during one of the Vine Sauce videos, we're sitting there, and he turns to me, right? He turns to me and he goes, it's weird. I actually want to kiss you right now. And he starts leaning in, and what do you think I did? I'll give you 5 seconds. Well, I fucking froze. That's what I did, because I was like, well, I don't know what I was thinking. There's just so many things like, holy shit, this is happening. What is he doing? Do I want this? I do not want this. Yes, I do want this. What is this? I'm a kid! What is this? And he suddenly stopped, just leaned away, and kept watching like nothing happened, and I was like, but I never really addressed it, you know? So freshman year of high school, in 9th grade, things were pretty okay, I guess. I mean, right before Ed started, a kid who used to use the chinchilla joke a lot, he come to me and he apologized, and I was like, fuck off, because I was still bitter. And can you blame me? But I was still bitter. And in my math class, holy shit, we had this miserable bitch of a teacher's assistant. I swear to God. That woman hated my guts. I don't know why, but she did. It was insane. She was so rude. I'm calling her rude, and I just called her a bitch, but she was just so rude and stuff. And this one time I was absent a day, so I missed some important math. Like, you can miss a lot in a day, especially in high school. And sorry. I take your tears as the highest compliment is the text I just received. I don't know what that means, but okay. Miserable bitch, alright? And So I had missed a day, and that's crucial. So basically, we go out in the hall where the kids who didn't finish their homework are, and the kid who had been mean to me before was sitting there like do because he hadn't done his homework. So basically, she shows me a problem. She goes, "Do it," or whatever. Like, she didn't explain to me. She's like, "Here, just do it." I'm like, because I didn't know what to do. I sucked at math. I still suck at math. Math sucks. Get over it. But I was just like, and she's getting so frustrated and angry with me because I won't do it. And she's like, "Yeah, do it." I'm like, "Ah!" And then eventually she yells at me, and I start fucking bawling in the hallway. And all these students are looking at me like, "Oh god." And I'm like, "I want to die. This is awful. Why am I crying in front of people?" Well, suddenly the kid jumps up. Out of nowhere, he goes, "Hey!" And he runs over to her. He gets in her fucking face, and he's like, "Why don't you actually try to teach her the stuff instead of just give it to her, expecting her to automatically know it?" And I'm like, "Thank you, man." She got so mad at him, and he got detention. Got detention for that. And that was how we became friends, pretty much, because he yelled at some crabapple bitch for me. Oh god, I'm crying. But anyways, cafeteria. I sat with Joel most of the time. That was kind of weary because 8th grade year, I'd stopped sitting in the cafeteria and actually in my homeroom classroom because these guys kept harassing me and they stole my lunch and ran around with it. And I wanted it back, and then the guy goes, "Kiss me, baby," and I was just like, "No, I'm done, no." I never ate in that cafeteria again because I didn't really have anybody to sit with. I mean, not all of us had the same lunch schedules, so I couldn't sit with certain people. But anyways, yeah, I sat with Joel, and things were just getting kind of weird with us, and I can't even remember why, but I had texted him one day saying, "You better answer this or else." There's my bitchiness coming in. And this was actually on the iPad his dad used sometimes. So I get a text back that says, "Or else what?" asked Joel's dad. I'm like, "Oh shit." I didn't know what to say to that. So I just go, "I'll kill him dead," which was the wrong answer. Because I don't think that's very funny at all. Nah, you can't talk to him for blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, holy shit. He's having a party in a week. And then the day before the fucking party, I say, "So what time is it again?" He literally goes, "About that." And it turns out his parents had made me uninvited, and he hadn't told me. So I told my mom got all pissed off, and she called his mom, and I'm like, "Ah, shit." And they blah, 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 back and forth, and no, I did not go to that party. I started feeling like he wasn't treating me very good as a friend, and I dumped him as a friend. It was a shitty thing to do, but we weren't really going anywhere, so yeah, I remember for a long time people would be like, whenever I talked about him, I call him my ex-friend slash boyfriend slash whatever he was, because I had no idea what the fuck he was. I mean, I don't think we were dating. That was also the year the school had a GSA club, and I was still kind of exploring my sexuality then. I was identifying as bisexual, which I actually kept kind of quiet. Not because I was ashamed. I mean, I wasn't ashamed, but because some girls who were friends with my friends started bothering them, asking if they were gay like me, and I didn't want them to have to go through that. So But GSA Club was one of the best experiences I had in high school. I met a trans person for the first time. Um, he didn't even tell us right away, and I couldn't tell, which I thought was pretty cool. I wish I remembered his name. It was Chris. It was Chris something. I think he had a website or whatever, but yeah, that was also the first time a girl flirted with me. See, we were making Valentines over at this neighboring school. Fucking huge school. We got lost. Students there got lost. But we made a Valentine, then we just hand it to a random person like that. Well, I already have one. This girl comes over. She has like short, bleached, blonde, curly hair. She has a ring in her nose. She's wearing black eyeshadow. She comes over to me and she goes, "Hey, cutie," and hands me Valentine, goes away, and I'm like, and then, and someone I know just slowly comes behind me, puts a hand on my shoulder and goes, "Just accept it," and I'm like, I'm gay, but, yeah, that was an insane year, but that was also when I kind of got more curious about transgender and all that stuff, and I thought, maybe no. I mean, just because I like some guy stuff doesn't mean I'm a guy, duh. It's just a thing. Whatever. Now, sophomore year, and I think it was sophomore, yes, it was sophomore year. Sometimes I get my years mixed up, I'm sorry. This is when shit went down, and I actually logged all of it on my blog, because I had made my blog sometime freshman year, I guess. I can't tell anymore, I'm sorry. But I was in something called theater arts, and oh my god, I love that class so much. But not some of the people in it. I mean, you can read everything that happened in detail on my blog under the hashtag fuckboystories. That'll make sense in a second. Basically, these two guys harassed me for ever, pretty much. And they were so disgusting, and like, they literally tried to back me into corners and kiss me, and I was not having that. And I keep telling the teacher they were, like, trying to put their hands on me, which is technically sexual harassment, and plus they make comments about me, and she told me to ignore them. Okay, I liked her, but hearing that, no. The good thing was I was in theater, so I could use skits as an excuse to be rude to them. Like, we were doing one where we were going to a pet store, and I point to him, I go, "Mommy, I want that one because it's really ugly and I feel bad for it." And another time we're talking like, "Yeah, did you hear about that zombie virus going around? Like, they're eating your brains, man." I look over at him, I go, "But I think you're safe." I was such an asshole, but it was great. It was so great. And then I'm like, "Hey, what do zombies who like bread say?" "Grains." Oh god, that class is awesome. I love improv. I still do. Remind me to tell you guys about the time I played Party Quirks. It's a game from Whose Line, and holy shit, that was great. But, oh my god, those guys. And it came to the climax when I said, "You touch me one more time, I'm gonna slap you," and the kid touched me one more time, so he runs, I chase his ass down, and some people say that removes sympathy from me, but fuck him, this has been going on for months and nobody's helping me. I slapped him, and my friend grabs me and he's like, "No, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna kill him, let me go." And she's like, "No!" So I didn't kill him, he's fine. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know where he is now, but... But that was it kind of ended there. But then they started harassing a friend of mine, like doing worse stuff. Like, they touched her thighs, and like I found one of them, and I threatened to pop his eyeballs out of his head. And the girl's pissed off. She's like, "Don't confront them." I'm like, too bad. And then I couldn't find the other kid, the one I slapped. But then I found him at lunch because I was waiting in line. Suddenly comes to me and he goes, "Hi," like he's all innocent or some shit. And I just kind of lost it a little bit. I grabbed him by the collar. The kid was shorter than me. I don't know why I let a guy shorter than me punch me around. Um, but I picked him up, lifted a little bit, and I was like, "If you touch her again, I'll rip your balls off and feed them to you." In this crowded cafeteria full of students, everybody goes, "Ooh." But, also that year, some shit went down. The year was, the year was 2015. It was the day before the last day of school before summer break. So, no, winter break. Fuck, Christmas break, whatever. Shit, there was a break of some sort. But it'd been an okay day, you know? Like, I went to the library after school like I used to. I played on their Wii. I played Just Dance. God, I used to rock at that game. But, you know, I come home. I think it was the 17th this happened. December 17th, 2015. Everything's fine. The next morning, December 18th, 2015, I'm 15 years old. I get a text from my mom saying there's no school today. And I'm thinking, what the shit? Because we have another day of testing to do still, you know? And so my mom tells me that there was a threat called into the school, and I was like, whatever, snore. And my sibling's school is canceled too, so whatever. We didn't really care, we were just like, cool, free day. And we started to go to my grandparents' house the next day to spend Christmas, and I get a text from my friend, like, can you believe this happened? And I'm like, no, I can't believe it at all. And she's like, did you see what was said? I'm like, see what was said? I thought it was like a phone call. And she goes, no, it was on Facebook, here. And she starts sending me screenshots, and I look at them, and give me a second. They were, yeah, they were pretty bad. Yeah. I have to admit, it scared the hell out of me. Really badly. It scared her too. And then she tells me she got a friend request from this creep who's going over some alias. And suddenly I'm not scared anymore. I'm fucking pissed off. Like, how dare this psycho try to make contact with her? And then I find out he sent me a friend request too. So it's, holy shit, he's looking up all the students in this school and, doing that and just find their names and trying to friend them. I do not remember that Christmas at all. Really, I can't remember what I got. I don't remember what happened because the whole fucking time I'm on Facebook seeing everything he's posting, documenting everything as evidence. I still have it on my computer, this computer right here. All of it. I'm pretty sure I have everything on here. Yeah, that was a while ago, but I have it all on here, and basically he was trying to blackmail some girl, and she pissed him off or something, so he was going to shoot up the school and place pipe bombs. And as time went on, the threats got really bad. They got really graphic. He said he would disembowel some of us, and he'd watch her blood run down the windows. And then he would get to the girl and snap her neck. And then he said he'd go to the elementary school and kill the kids there. And nobody was going to survive because he knew all the tricks. Like, we couldn't pretend to be dead. He'd know. And he'd get us. And there was nothing we could do. There's nothing. I thought I was going to die. And And people told me to skip school, but I never did because that wasn't something I would do. And for 2 months, I thought I was gonna die. I thought every day would be my last day. I looked at escape routes and shields, possible weapons in every class I had in case the worst happened. I told my mom my phone's passcode. I left a note in my purse saying what my name was and who to give the stuff to. And, at the end of it all, the guy didn't go to our school, he wasn't in our state, he wasn't in our country, and he did it all because he was bored. He made me fear for my life because he was bored. And the girl hadn't even wronged him, he didn't know her. The nudes he had of her were fake, and I always feel bad talking about this by saying, do you know how much I suffered? Because, God, that girl, she was in protective custody, and I have no room to say how much it affected me when I don't know how much it fucking affected her. But I don't know, I can't stop feeling that way. I mean, God. To this day, because the kid made a lot of not kid, the guy, fucking scumbag, made a lot of parallels to Columbine, I can't see a picture of Dylan Klebold without just remembering. I know it was probably like 2.5 months, but it felt so much longer. It felt a lifetime longer. I was ready to die. I was waiting. I wanted the shooting to happen. I wanted it because I wanted it to be over with. And that's horrible. But I just wanted it to stop. I wanted it to stop. They caught the guy about a year later, and I hope he fucking rots in hell. That girl graduated. She's probably doing well now, but I hate that guy so much. I hate him. He ruined my life. He ruined her life. And nobody even remembers. My former classmates don't even remember. And that's why I feel like I'm overreacting, because if they don't remember, why should I? Why should I remember any of this? Why is it affecting me so much more than it ever affected them? Anyways, that was sophomore year. Junior year, I can't exactly pinpoint when it was when I was like, fuck, I'm trans, and then, no you're not, shut the fuck up, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're overthinking this, Tumblr's having an effect on you, you feel sympathy for these people, that's all, you don't want to be like them, you don't need to be like them, just shut up, you are a girl. So I was like, yep, so I pushed that back, and, that whole thing with Leela Alcorn happened, and I'm like, you can't ignore it, stupid. You can't fucking ignore it anymore. But I sure as hell tried. Yeah. Anyways, that year was okay, I guess. I'm really struggling to remember a lot of it, but remember gym. Yeah, there were these guys in gym. There was this kid. He was following me around the track. Like, he was trying to get my Instagram. When I wouldn't give it to him, he asked for a number and pretended to cry. And these girls were saying I was being rude to him. And I lied and told him that I had a boyfriend. And he was like, so? And that was, I just found that disgusting. Like, Jesus Christ. Anyways, yeah, he was a really despicable being. You know, he would rip off his shirt after gym and be like, oh yeah, I like what you see. And all the girls would be like, ah, and I'd be like, oh, fuck you, dude. I called him a fuckboy to his face. And the girl's like, wow, that is, so rude. Why would you say that? And I'm like, God damn it. Why do people actually talk like this? Because people do actually talk like that. Anyways, yeah, he was kind of a problem. And then in gym, these guys, you know, they would like kind of harass me, like senior year. They'd follow me around. They'd be like, "Hey, I heard you're talking shit about me." I go, "Well, I wasn't." And they're like, "Yeah, you were." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, "Fucking get away from me." And they follow me around saying shit. And one time they were bothering me. And one guy goes, "Yo, I'll give you $20 if you hug her." And I said, "You fucking touch me, I'll hit you." And he fucking touched me. That sounds weird. He hugged me, and I punched him in the arm. And he screamed like a little bitch. So that was pretty good. And I'm like, yeah, you don't tug on Superman's cape, buddy, and just left. And they were all like, they thought it was so funny. But senior year, I was like, fucking guy, you moron, stop it. Stop running. And I got the shortest haircut I'd ever gotten, which was a pixie cut. Hey, small steps at a time. Plus, I didn't really want to tell my parents, I'm trans, because my dad would say things about trans people. And that made me not want to come out. We'll put it that way. And, you know, like all that happened. I ended up graduating high school. I stopped being friends with that guy who I said stood up for me before because he didn't respect who or what I was. And he said he'd pray for me, which, you know, even if you're not like Christian, somebody says that, just accept that because they're putting you in their thoughts. But I didn't accept that because he was praying for me to get better and stop being gay and trans. By the way, I was identifying as panromantic asexual then. Now I'm pansexual. I guess, I don't know. Shit's confusing. I haven't had my first kiss, damn it. God, 19 years old. Haven't had my first kiss. But, anyways, yeah. And shortly after that, I ended up going to a crisis hospital after an episode where I hurt myself several times and I wouldn't say attempted, but contemplated suicide very, very, very seriously. And I was there for a week. Felt like longer, but I think it was a week, maybe a little longer or a little less or something. I don't know. But finally, I made my dad cry. I made my dad cry because he saw I was hurting and he was apologizing to me for not knowing. And it's not his fault. He couldn't have known. And when I got out, I knew I owed it to them to tell them about me. And I told you guys about that, I'm pretty sure. I tell you guys everything, don't I? Pretty much. Went better than I thought, even though I was planning on packing a bag just in case it didn't. Several months later, like several months later, I ended up going back to the crisis center, and I told you guys, I told you I'd be gone. And I got out, and when I got out, the first thing I did was I started getting masculine products. Like I was getting hair wax and men's cologne and all that shit, because when I was in there, everybody just empowered me to just do it. I could do it. All of it. A Marine guy told me that I had more balls than he did. And it made me want to just embrace all of that. And, I got this haircut. It's supposed to be a faux hawk. I think it's getting a little long. I have to get it trimmed like once a month. But yeah, I don't even use the product anymore because it just stays like this, kind of. I tried to style in a faux hawk, but I don't think I ever really got it. Hey, I never said I was good with hair or makeup. And then, yeah, I've been out of school for about a year now, I guess. And things haven't always been easy. I mean, you guys saw when my two best friends kind of said stuff about me, and I'm sorry you guys had to see that. But yeah, I don't actually have many friends at all now, like people I consider friends. I mean, I don't know when you start considering somebody a friend. Like, how long do you have to know them? How long do you hang out? I've reconnected with Joel, and I just feel so bad because he's so nice to me, and I was such a fucking bitch to him. And he's really awesome, and I'm proud of him, and his girlfriend is very lucky, and he wants to hang out sometime soon, and yeah, I agree with that. That's fine. And then my other friend, I met her when she drew fan art for the fan fiction I did last year, and I may not do art anymore, but I guess fan fiction is sort of art. I love writing, it's my passion, and so is singing. I have my other channel, and I know in the Monday videos a few times I've sang and it sounded horrible. I'm sorry. But everything that I've taken away from my school experience, I never found myself attractive, so I still don't understand why they harassed me in the first place. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you're beautiful, you're handsome, blah blah blah. I don't really see it. A couple weeks ago, I looked in the mirror, alright, and for half a second, I was like, damn, that boy's attractive. And then I realized, and it fucked me up really bad. I don't know why, but it did, because it was weird. But yeah, I don't know why it happened. I think I'm kind of trusting. Like, I'll spill a lot to people. I mean, I'm spilling all this to you guys. Most of you are strangers, and I don't really know you, but then, I don't know who's really trying to be my friend, who's not. Sometimes I'm not sure if people are picking on me or not, or they're genuine, and fucks with my life, and I have like zero self-esteem most of the time. Like, I've been, after being told I'm worthless for years or whatever, it kind of does something, and I shouldn't think that way, and I know I shouldn't think that way, but I do, and it's not something you can just fix. I'm a very damaged individual, and I'm very fucked up inside, and I don't think that will be fixed soon. I mean, I'm happier now, definitely, like, happier, but there's always that question. Are you happy? And I think about that a lot, and I can never answer. Because I don't know. I mean, yes, but no? I'm not happy with certain things, but I'm okay with some things, and it's just. And then I just think about the second time I was at the crisis center, and the girl who told me, you know, I don't think anyone is ever happy, truly happy. It's not possible. And I think she's right. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Just thank you.